front crawl, please. Start your front crawl, 5-minute warm up, and then I will talk to you about the session. Okay, whether you're horizontal or whether you're vertical, it's up to you, but start a 5-minute warm up. I'm in position. I've got the timer going now. Hopefully you can see all of that. I might just bring that forwards a fraction. There we go. Okay, good work, everyone. Good work. Okay, nothing too aggressive to start with. Don't, as I'm fond of saying, we're not trying to pull the stair banister down or rip the plaster off the wall. However you've got your cords attached, just keep it nice and steady as we warm up. Think about your front crawl technique. If you are horizontal, if your cords are horizontal, just try to find something comfortable. Bend your knees, pivot at the hips, keep the back somewhat flat. Stretch the arms forwards, keep the elbows high and drive the arms back. Maybe take a step forwards while you're getting warmed up, or take a step up if you can, if you're in a stairwell, just so it's nice and light, really nice and light, okay? First 5 minutes is the warm up. We're just slowly gonna get some blood flow into the arms, into the shoulders. You'll be interested to know perhaps the podcast is coming along well. I had a very good chat with an old swimming colleague of mine, Dan Smith. He's a physio, and we were talking about technique and the dangers of everybody jumping on stretch cords at home, but you'll be pleased to know he gave us a clean bill of health and everything we're doing is good, solid front crawl technique. And I will let you know where to find those quite soon, okay? So yeah, we've got a podcast coming. Yesterday I spoke to a professor of diet and nutrition. Christine, you might remember Micah from the La Center camp in January. Yeah, I had a phone call with her and we were talking about various things to help avoid cramping, which was very interesting. So that's coming up soon. So yeah, I've been trying to keep busy. I hope you've all been having a good day so far. So nice and easy with the warm up. So the basic session tonight, we're gonna, after the warm up, we're gonna have a minute of a certain drill, of a certain front crawl related exercise that will help shape our full stroke. And then each minute, it's always going to be a minute of drill, then it's going to flow into an amount of full stroke front crawl. And obviously the idea is that the improved movement, the area worked on, the little refinement to your technique from the drill will flow into your full stroke. And during the full stroke, I'll keep reminding you about how it should feel, what it should look like. And if you are racing open water or doing a triathlon, there might be something else of interest to think about. And I like to give examples. I like to, share the experience, give something a reason, give it a purpose. Here's why it works. Here's how it helps. And then hopefully it'll just, embed, it'll settle in, and you'll trust it, believe in it, and give it another go. And hopefully it will help and work for you. So 3 minutes and 45, 3 minutes and 45. Hopefully the warm-up's going well. Take a step forward if the heart rate's creeping up. Remember, this is not about the strength, not about massive amounts of fitness. It's reminding us about what full stroke front crawl is all about, so that when we do get to go back into the water, it's not too clumsy, not too mechanical. We don't feel too rusty, okay? Friday's a little bit harder. If you can find it on YouTube, have a look for the Swim for Try YouTube channel. It was a particularly good session I did all on my own. I enjoyed it, I got it done. I nearly ended it and went and sat and watched Netflix, but I thought, no, I can get this one done. I can get it on YouTube, it'll be good. So we persevered, or I did, knowing you'd all catch up with it later on. Okay, so in 20 seconds, we're gonna ditch our cords. We're gonna pick up our light dumbbells or your tins of beans, or if you've got nothing, go with nothing. And then we're going to do a standing front crawl with slow motion arms. And you'll see why this works a little bit better with a little bit of weight. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Okay, pick up your dumbbells. So really slow, really slow. We actually want to add in some recovery this time. We want to add in some recovery. I want you to actually take the arms above the surface of the water, regardless of where your quads are. Just ignore them. Come and stand upright. Here's where we add some rotation. Here's where the arms recover over the surface. I'm still trying to pull down the center line under the body. Follow the alignment of the backbone. The hip is going to roll out of the way. And we do these rotation drills because if you are pulling the stretch cords in a horizontal position, it's just that little bit more difficult to get your rotation in. Okay, keep the head still for now. Don't worry about turning to breathe. Just focus on hands, nice and slow. Keep them at 180 to each other. And we're just going to slowly work on some accuracy, add in the surface recovery, work the muscles of the back that are helping control that. In 3, 2, 1, fantastic. Back on the cords, back on the cords. Full stroke front crawl, full stroke front crawl. So we got 4 minutes, okay? First round is 1 and 4, then we're 1 and 3, 1 and 2, and then we're going to take a little extra rest, okay? That's round 1. 3 rounds altogether, they vary slightly. The exercises will be different. So we just worked on that slow motion front crawl, keeping the hands opposite each other, keeping the hands pulling central under the body. If you have been, and this is not a great demonstration for the guys that created these stretch cords, if you look at NZ cords, they've got some demonstrations and the hands are pulling excessively wide, okay? If you go to their website, and I had that confirmed just this afternoon that we've suspected it for a long time, because obviously it's not productive, because it actually would have you swim from side to side, as it does just nudge you and nudge you. So try to keep the hands inside of the shoulders, between the backbone and the shoulders, so that water goes backwards. So we've suspected that's not ideal if you go wide, because it's just not helping you move forward. But actually, Dan, the physio, was saying that there is a lot of strain on the shoulders. It is not a healthy alignment for the arms to be in. So keep the hands under the body. Good work, everyone. Good, good, good. Just 15 seconds shy of halfway of this full stroke front crawl. Hopefully you should be feeling warmed up now. You've settled into a good position, a good amount of distance away from where you have your cords tethered. Maybe you need to take a step forward. If you were a little bit too ambitious, maybe take a step back, it's no problem. I'm going to drop down a stair, well, maybe on the next one. Maybe on the next one, drop a stair. The important thing is to help keep those hands central, is to pop the elbow out wide, That exposes the forearm, and then you get to use the palm and the forearm to drive the water back towards the feet, whether you're upright, vertical, or you're horizontal. Principle's the same. I'm trying to rotate the upper body so the shoulder comes through, tight into the chin, so I shut down all that surface area. Don't be swimming out here where the shoulders are exposed and there's more surface area. I'm trying to shut that down so I'm nice and small, nice and narrow. And again, you don't have to be a highly qualified swim coach when you're racing to just remember, could I be smaller? Could I be narrower? Could I slide through this water, which is so much denser than air? Could I make a narrower profile, reduce my drag just by being smaller? And again, if you're, scrabbling along like a starfish, you've got no streamline, you are not going to swim fast. So keep hiding, keep hiding. Okay, last 45 seconds before we just ditch the cords again and then go back into our drill, Another interesting point Dan brought up was, and he's done triathlon, he's done long distance front crawl. We swam together through the sort of late 80s, early 90s. He went to nationals, came to Olympic trials with us. He said that, and he's actually a coach now with his children's swimming club, but, we do not do enough of the other strokes to help avoid overuse injuries. So we're going to roll into some backstroke in a moment, just 1 minute of backstroke. The body position doesn't really change. You're still rotating, switching from side to side, but we're just going to roll the arms in the reverse position. So don't worry about the chords for now. Don't worry about the chords. So switching from side to side. If you've got your dumbbells, they'll just help you, give you a little bit of a feel for the water by having some weight in the hands. Keep the hands at 180 to each other, 180 degrees to each other. Backstroke, you do not get a choice. Front crawl, there's options as to what the relationship is between the hands. Backstroke, they must be opposite. If you can pivot at this point here, you'll get that catch just like you would on front crawl. 30 seconds to go. Keep the head still, switching the shoulders from side to side. The two body positions are very, very similar. So this is all helping. And just reversing the movement through the shoulders is going to keep them healthier, activate some of those shoulder muscles in a slightly different way, help strengthen them. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Back on the chords, please. Here we go. All right. Only 3 minutes this time, only 3 minutes. You'll have noticed it's slowly coming down. There was sort of a 5 at the front, then there was a 4. Now there's a 3. We got the 1 coming up next, and then we finish with a 2, and then we'll get a drink, have a little bit of a breather. So take a step back if you can. Should be feeling warm now. We're over 10 minutes of work. So use that rotation from the backstroke. Get the shoulder switching from side to side. Don't bump this is where things often go wrong and we over rotate. You must keep the head still unless you're breathing or lifting the side, of course. But if the head is still, you will actually block and stop yourself from over rotating. Okay, if the head bumps around, you can easily over rotate. So keep the head nice and still for the majority of this, and you'll learn what your maximum range of rotation should be. Okay, good work, everyone. Good. That's a minute down, 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. So keep the head still, bring the shoulder through to the chin. You'll often see elite men's teams exiting the pool with stubble rash on their shoulders. Such is the emphasis on the rotation and switching from side to side. And rotation is all important. It gives us the length, it gives us the window of opportunity to get a nice, healthy breath in. We finish long at the back of the stroke. And also, and again, the trends are changing. There are a lot more people trying to swim straight armed. And while that's not right, not wrong, there are pros and cons for both, a high elbow recovery and a straight arm recovery. What you must do, and Dan reminded me, was that you must rotate. The minute the body stays flat, you strain the shoulders, you lose your streamline, and there's more of you submerged, having to literally shunt yourself through the water. So keep switching from side to side. It makes the pull longer, gives you a longer opportunity to get air in. Helps push further back. And here's where things go wrong. People shorten the stroke, lose the rotation in an attempt to create speed because they feel like things are moving faster. But actually, you still want the length. You still want things to be faster, but not shortened. Last 15 seconds, everyone, last 15 seconds. Okay, we're going to do a simple drill I like, which will help accentuate the catch position at the front of the coat, at the front of the stroke. Call it the thumb catch. We're going to ditch. You don't need anything for this. In 3, 2, 1, just step away from the cords. Bring the thumbs together. Okay. Pop the elbows wide. Bring the fingertips to meet. So from head on. Thumbs are touching, elbows go wide, sort of making a diamond shape, and then just flow back, okay? Turn that over. We are doing this with both arms to work on that symmetry, okay? To learn what the angles are. Okay, there might well be a little bit of a shrug through the shoulders to make that happen. The elbows need to go wide. A little bit of daylight between the fingers because we're not sort of cupping and pulling. Let's just get everything right and build it from there. You can add your dumbbells to this just for a little bit more emphasis if you wish next time, but just learn the movement. And you're trying to bring that position to horizontal by the time it reaches the eyes. That's what's known as the early vertical forearm. Obviously, we're in the water. The body would be horizontal. The forearm would be vertical. Good work, everyone. Good work. Last 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Back onto the long chords. Get your front crawl in. Take another step back. Don't let the stroke shorten at the back. Keep brushing through. The hips are switching from side to side. They will roll out of the way of that central pull. You don't have to go around the hip at the back of the stroke. Let the hip move for you. All the water is now being channeled down towards the feet. And you should move forwards in a nice straight alignment. Nicely done. Keep going, keep going. We'll talk about breathing on the next round. Talk about breathing on the next round. But for now, just work on keeping the head still, switching from side to side, keeping the shoulders finishing as you brush up towards the cheek. Keep the stroke long, pop the elbow wide, trying to achieve that vertical or horizontal forearm position, depending on how your body's aligned. By the time you come past the eyes, okay? If that is delayed, it's delayed and it's vertical behind the shoulder, you've just wasted an opportunity to go forwards. And certainly you don't want to be pushing down with a straight arm to help your breathing. You must pivot, 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 pivot with the elbow repeatedly, regardless of whether you're breathing or not. Last 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds, we're going to take a little breather. Twenty. Keep going. Don't let it fade now. Keep the stroke long. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Shake the arms out. Have a drink. Have a little stretch. Bring the elbows together just to squeeze them together as best you can. It's a nice, easy tricep stretch. Okay, have a drink, maybe work on your rotation a little bit while we're waiting. We'll get going very soon. Just going to reset the clock. Okay, so the same format applies. It's going to be 1 minute of a drill into 4 minutes, 1 minute of a drill into 3 minutes, and each time we're going to do some different drills this time, okay? And always we're trying to practice, work on them in the slow, and then have it flow.